my goodness. I don't know if it's a side gig or if I need to go full time. I'm telling you, me and my wife, we've both got right now $3,700 at least sitting in orders, just waiting on me. So anytime that machine is not running, it's costing me money, and it's paid for itself. Now I can't say that it's paid for itself yet, but if you're looking at, I've got $3,700 in the shop. I've paid a third of it or a fifth of it right there. I don't know what the math is on that, but
and let's be honest that you built a company in 6 months, and it was profitable probably the first month.
Yeah, no doubt.
In the sense, it was starting to pay for itself.
Yeah, now what you slowly build, all of a sudden you see an avalanche coming in. Not this last Saturday. I'd say like in the last 9 days, I've gotten 5 orders in just from pet memorials. Nothing expensive, just chipping away a little at a time.
Have we been able to be any help when it comes to advertising? When it comes to kind of understanding what you can do? Like our objective on that portal is to give you access to material that's going to make you money. Has that been fruitful for you? Have you been able to take access to that?
The portal is awesome, especially if I'm having a problem. I can 9 times out of 10 find somebody else that's already had it. And also, and I'm sorry for all these dings, I've got so many people trying to get me. The portal also helps you with ideas. Not just trying to overcome an obstacle, but ideas. If somebody can do this, then I can do this, I'm pretty creative in the way I think, and I try to go outside the box all the time. So it just takes a little bitty idea to spark a big idea in my head.
And that's what the group and everybody's been helpful is really changing the game. Like, I understand that you didn't know anything about the rocks until you really joined the group. Is that correct?
That's right. I mean, I've run a concrete company here for, 3 years with my brother doing decorative overlays. And I've seen them. I've always liked them. I've even Google searched them, but I've never, ever done one or even considered doing one. I just thought they was neat. And then when I seen your website or the RedArt website, I was like, wow, I can do this. And you even had a clip on there showing how to do it, which is actually pretty brilliant also.
Well, one thing we do know is that we're all in this together. Like, this market doesn't exist, and we got to build it ourselves. And I'm really excited this year to see what you do because, like you said, you set up yourself for success. You've done a little bit of legwork and put things together to where your business is ready for this year, and that's what we're doing. That's the name of the game for everybody. Exactly right.
My business is ready for it, but my work schedule is not, and that's a good problem to have. It's just a very frustrating situation to be in.
Well, I mean, are you close to retiring? Is that correct?
No, I'm 53, so I don't know, 12, 17 years, somewhere in there.
But, I mean, let's say this, if things are going so good and you and your wife are, making a couple $300,000 a year doing just rocks, I mean, it might be feasible just to transition over because there's nothing better than owning your own business, right?
You're right. And there's nothing scarier than to step away from a company that offers a lot of benefits and good insurance. But you're exactly right. My wife did quit her job back in December. I haven't told you that, but she did quit her job back in December. And now she paints the flags that you see online, and she does the epoxy and the pet memorials. We've got a huge rock that I'm in the middle of doing right now. It's 7 foot tall, 5 foot wide, and she's putting the epoxy in there. And that's going for it's down on a boat ramp, and it's called Gar Creek Landing, and you're going to see it online within the next couple of weeks probably. It's got a huge bass in there. I've epoxied the bass, and I've put green in it. I mean, I've made it look pretty realistic, but that's a huge project we're doing.
So this is going to be the flagstone of your company as we speak right now. From the start to here we are. This is the flagstone project, yeah?
Oh, no doubt. And it's got my name and number on it. And,
cool.
that's permanent advertising for life right there. So.
Oh, way to go. So you actually put your name and number on the rock, so it's never going anywhere.
Never going anywhere. It's in a really nice spot. I mean, in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a lot of donors on it, and it'll be read. It'll be read by everybody. So anybody that likes to fish and maybe runs a business is going to call me up, hopefully.
And let me be honest with you that we don't get any of that money, right? That's all yours.
Oh, that's all my money. You want some of it?
Not that I want any. I want people to know that, when you become a RedArt technology owner, that the only thing you buy is basically bits. I mean,
that's all I buy, and them bits last so long. But yeah, you've been so helpful in telling me what I need. And no, there's no money in here that goes to you other than the parts that I need, and you still provide the support, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Absolutely. How
you
has
are both welcome to come help, and I'll give you some of the money if you come help.
No, it's not about that. It's that
I know that.
we're in this together, and that's, dude. Once again, you are a flagship customer. If there's anybody that's doing it right, it's you. I mean, once again, I had someone on the phone this morning saying, "Hey, this is not a magic carpet, but one thing we give you is tools that you can be very successful at this."
That's a good way to put it. Yep, that's a really good way to put it. That machine can sit out there for a week and it won't make me a dime. I've got to learn it, first of all. That's the first thing. Learn it, advertise, and then start trial and error, And over time, it'll slowly build.
Right. And so with that rock job, are you picking up any other big rocks like that? I'm hoping that you'll be able to, take advantage of some of the other jobs that'll come along from that job. Have you had any jobs come along just from that one?
No, it's still laying face down in my shop. It's a two-sided deal. I'm doing the second side now, and it's not been put in place yet. But once it gets put in place, I'm sure a lot more is going to come. I've got another
double-sided rock.
Yes, sir. It says Dark Creek Landing on both sides. It's got like our electric company logo here.
It's pretty cool.
Donated to them. Yeah.
Double-sided too.
So that was one thing that, some of the franchisees that have bought in those other franchisees, that's one thing they haven't been able to do is double-sided because the concrete's wet and you can't flip it over.
Yeah, and they're not doing vertical either, I'm imagining, right?
No.
Yeah.
So that's what's funny is that you've got a double-sided rock, and the only way you can do that is either flip the rock over or stand it up and do a vertical. So that's really cool.
Hey, flipping a 3,300-pound rock over in your shop is not an easy task.
Yeah.
Now, next on the list, as soon as I get that big rock cleared out of here, and he's giving me until around, I think, April 12th. You should see it complete on the website by April 12th. So the next one I've got is a 4-foot tall, 6-foot wide rock, and me and my wife will be taking care of that one, hopefully, and get it knocked out in about 2 weeks. It's just one side, but still a big project. I have got I work at a place called Mars Pet Care, and it's owned by the Mars family. They produce the candy that we're all familiar with, M&Ms and Snickers. But they have a pet care division, and we do pet food there. And I'm in the maintenance department night shift. And we had got a dog park that opened up nearby our plant, and I volunteered to make that rock for the front of their entrance. It's going to say Chaffee Crossing Dog Park. And that's just something I'm going to donate to them. Just from doing that, and I haven't got it done yet, but just from doing that, I've got another project. The director of Parks and Recreation here in Fort Smith has asked me to start looking at doing some bricks. However, I've talked to Henry about that. I know bricks isn't really the way to go, but what I'm probably going to do is make my own brick size items, and we'll use those instead.
That's the way to do it. I recommend, once again, if you can go with a 4x8, and then you limit how many characters can go on that brick. And then once you give them those specs, they'll sell them accordingly. And that's how the job was sold in Portland that we did. Okay. We did a Japanese garden, and that was done. It was a 4x8 brick, and he gave the specs on how many characters. And he actually spec'd the characters. Like, I don't know, there's a board. If you go through my photos, there's a board of me standing next to it. And there's only a certain number of characters and a certain number of emojis that he had that you could pick from. But he had 7,000. I believe he's still doing them. He had 7,000 to do. But anyway, just FYI, that's how you sell those.
That's awesome. I think I recall seeing that picture. It's on the RedArt website, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, I recall seeing that.
File, and there's all these papers that he engraved. They can walk up and go, hey, I want this one. And that's exactly how you sell it. So make a board, engrave a board with the machine, epoxy inlay, make it look beautiful. and then go in and engrave those and just sit them on site. If anyone damages, whatever, you just throw in one out. So our tool is a tool to your kit.
Yeah.
We want nothing more than for you to have an engraving business. Some of our clients own lasers. And so when you said bricks, I got a guy in LA that bought a laser from Ralph, and he's actually engraving bricks with a laser.
Really?
And you can get the precision and the look that you'll never get with an engraver or with a sandblast.
Right.
Because it burns the brick and melts it. So if you want to talk to him, Jesse Lopez in our group is putting it on right now. He's getting ready to do. I gave him that job in LA. He did it for the museum, and then they just hit him up with this next job. So
I have seen that name, Jesse Lopez. I'll have to hit him up, and that's something that you might consider sometime, Henry, is interchangeable attachments. Take the router off and put a laser on.
I've thought of that, and we've gone that with the plasma cutter. And one of the issues is every time I veer, the money's not in that stuff. The money's in the concrete.
Right,
so
right.
Every time I've turned, even if I've turned towards rocks, and rocks is good, but you can't do the math in your head like you can when you see an emblem on the concrete that you can do 1,000 times at one facility.
Right, right. You're right. But that's kind of a one-off, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, I did that Razorback. You seen that Razorback I put on a guy's porch. I just haven't gotten any concrete work, and we do decorative concrete. So maybe I don't push it hard enough. Maybe I need to try a little bit harder on that. But I'm just staying so busy with the rocks that
I wouldn't even do anything. If you can do those rocks out of your house, that means you don't got to go on site.
I love that.
But once again, I mean, Ralph, he just turned, I think, 18 grand in 3 days. And
well, I didn't charge near enough for this rock that big one that I'm doing right now. But I lost I'm learning a lot, and I knocked $500 off just for my name on there, but that's $500 permanent advertising.
Yeah,
dude, that's huge.
Yeah. Well, when I first set it up, I set it up in my living room floor, and I was so happy. It's beautiful. Comes in a I don't know what you call that thing, but it's more like a pelican case, but a great big one. That thing's meant to take it apart, put it back together, and travel and last forever. I really like the way that you designed that and the little cutouts and everything. Well, to tell you the truth, Melton's Decorative Concrete is the business, the concrete business that my brother and I started. It does really well with pool decks, patios, porches, anything for decorative concrete. I tried initially to incorporate the two, and like I said, I got that one Razorback job and not much since. So I branched off and started a separate entity, Creative Concrete Surfaces, and that has gone crazy. So I can't see how it has added to the current business, but creating a new one was really good.
Right on. That's awesome.
Okay, I'm using it for on wood, which I didn't know it'd do wood. It's kind of marketed by y'all for concrete, but all you have to do is change the bit. It's pretty simple. You just order you a couple of wood bits, and I'm making 3D flags, which is something else. Every time I've heard of the word CNC, I always thought X and Y. But when you add a Z-axis in there, you can make a 3D model, and that is really neat. So I'm making those 3D flags out of wood. I'm selling those on Etsy, and back to the cement, I'll just shape a rock, just a small one. I mean, probably the size of your laptop, and maybe 1.5 inches thick. I'll shape that, chisel the edges, engrave on the top, and sell that thing for $59. The other things we're doing is, of course, the name rocks, or whatever people like to call them, landscape rocks, name boulders. I don't know. I've heard 100 different words for it, and I can't come up with which one sounds the best. So take your pick, whichever one you like. That is, I can't keep up with those. I've got three.
Oh, go ahead.
3 sitting waiting to be done after I get done with this one. I might need another CNC Pro and another person. another thing back to your portal, another thing is that the awesome Daryl Bates, who I always thought was a god, and I would have never talked to him. I've now reached out to him since we was both members of the RedArt owners group, and I've done a couple of epoxy jobs thanks to him now. So that's a
So you're telling me that one of our customers has helped you and made you money?
That's right. Yeah.
You're saying? So
And I guess I've made him money. I've bought epoxy from him, but then in the long term, he made me money.
That's the intention of the group, right? And it's awesome that I have no interest in that. That has nothing to do with me.
No.
Hey,
No.
You're for 10% or 5%. I know we're in this together, and that's freaking awesome that you say that, because that's the whole reason I built this. There's nothing worse than shitty customer service and support. Like it's
and if you're not looking for something something's going to come for you anyway. I don't know if that's a bunch of voodoo, but I always feel like if you treat people right and you're not doing everything for financial gain, then the financial gain's coming anyway.
Absolutely. Doing the right thing is always the right thing.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And so that's
probably the simplest way to put it. I use a lot of words to say what you said real quick.
Like, that's why I built the group, because doing the right thing's the right thing. And that's so cool that you're making money off of communicating, saying, hey, someone up in the group, once again, I never put any energy into it. That's all you, and that you were able to communicate, and he wants to help you, and that we want to help you, do more jobs than just engraving. So that's
Daryl's a great dude. I like shit out of him.
Oh, he's a good Christian boy.
Yeah.
That's one of his catchphrases.
I didn't know that. Next time I talk to him.
When you talk to him more, he'll say he's a good Christian boy when he describes somebody.
Hey, Rodney, are you going to come to World Concrete this year?
You mean next year?
Yeah, no. So it's going to happen in June.
World of Concrete's in June?
Yeah, it's in June this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyways, if you come meet all these badass people that you see in that group, because they come watch us. And Daryl's one of those guys that lives there, and so he'll come watch us at the show and whatever. But you get to meet a bunch of professionals, just extremely valuable, and you meet thousands of people. So you'll pick up almost new ideas, because how much stuff's going on there. It's phenomenal. What's cool, once again, is that we're all in this together. And that's the number one thing. And there's nothing more than I want you guys to succeed.
Yeah, and I think that was you, Henry, that had sent me a name for somebody here. Oh, they was within 100 miles of my area. It was a preacher, and Leo Lenz, I think his name was, and he had a rock that was already engraved, and he was partial to this rock, but he moved. So I went and picked up this rock. We met about a mutual spot in between, and I went and picked up this rock and come up with some ideas of how to cover his address, and ended up being a church that I put over his old address with the roof line covered his old address, and the steeple went up next to his name. And he really loved that. So, yeah, you've even helped me get a job.
That's awesome. And the thing is, I can't do them. I'm too busy building machines. I'll put one together right now as we speak. I got to send it out today. The guy in Florida wants it to go, and here we are. But there's nothing more than I love giving work to, certified customers that actually can go do the work. So, absolutely. Thank you. Get on the phone here and get this other guy set up here in a second. But I really
thank you.
And
hey, thank y'all very much. Thank you for that video you made for me. And
hey, anytime. I'll get you the MP4 of it so you can post it and reshare it and do all that. So
okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good night.
No problem. You too.
If anything can help us add, please let us know. That's what we're trying to grow this year, is trying to really touch bases with some of our customers, understand what their needs are. So if you have anything you'd like to add, let us know. We'd be happy for that information.
Awesome. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah, thank you, Rodney.
Thank you.